guys, and welcome to this video for people who are singers but not necessarily instrumentalists who'd really like to get gigs. My name is Eve Williams and I'm a music teacher. I've got a lot of content on YouTube around music education, music business, and also on rheumatoid arthritis. So if any of those things appeal to you, please do subscribe. In this video, we're going to talk about ways that you can get out there and perform. But before we do that, I would say it is a pretty good idea to learn an instrument. I myself play piano and guitar, but I had periods where I couldn't play due to rheumatoid arthritis and I still sang. So I think I'm going to be able to help you because I had several different ways that I did this, and I got my voice, and also as a songwriter I got my songs out there without playing for a time. The first thing that I would say about being a singer and not an instrumentalist is don't think you're a second-rate musician. Your contribution is valuable. After all, the singer provides the meaning of the song. It's often the singer in a band that people relate to. Your voice is creating an atmosphere in the place that you're playing. So you really are, people love to hear a really cracking voice. So you are providing something really useful. So don't feel embarrassed that you need a little bit of help, because music is a collaborative area of life. You know, we have bands, we have duos, we have orchestras, we have choirs. It's something to be done together. So first of all, never feel bad about asking someone to help you. First thing that you could think of doing is joining a band. So if you join a lot of Facebook groups that are for musicians in your area, you'll hear which bands are looking for people. There may be websites that advertise bands looking for singers, and the singer is obviously a very important person in the band. You're giving the words, you are the front person, you're the person that the audience relates to, and you can actually do quite well financially out of joining a band. I live in Northern Ireland, and a weddings band here would be paid about £800 to £1,500 for a performance at a wedding at the weekend. So even when you split that up amongst the band, that's still quite good earnings, especially if you're doing it every weekend or every other weekend. So really worth doing. Another thing that you can do is form a duo with a guitarist or a pianist. And a nice thing that might come out of that, if you've got two people, you can also have vocal harmony, which really adds something to the sound. And a lot of restaurants and hotels and venues actually look for duos. I know a lot of cruise ships look for duos. So it's a useful thing to do. The downside is, of course, that you're splitting the income that you get between two people, but it does create a really nice sound, and you can really focus on your vocals and giving a really good vocal performance, working with someone else who knows and understands your musicality and forming a relationship with that person. If splitting the income is a bit of a problem, there can be other ways of working things. You could offer to do some backing vocals on that person's recording. You could offer to sing for someone who isn't a vocalist to help them demo a track. You know, that's kind of the way the musical community works. You do things for people and they do things for you. So the best way to find people to help you is to really be an active member of your local musical community. And if you're helpful to other people and you're out there, then people are going to want to help you. Now, to a slightly contentious issue here, and that is backing tracks. Should you ever use backing tracks? And I would say it depends on the backing track and it depends on the venue. I was once out at a quite classy Indian restaurant, but they had someone singing to a mic and it felt a bit like karaoke, and it sort of disturbed the atmosphere that the restaurant were probably trying to create. So if you're going to use backing tracks, make sure that they fit with the venue, because actually if it had been sort of in a pub environment, those backing tracks would probably have been fine. But really cheesy MIDI backing tracks are never fine. Never, ever, ever fine. If you're going to use backing tracks, make sure that they are high quality backing tracks and that you're well rehearsed to them. You're not just winging it, so that you can follow their timing, because of course an accompanist will follow the singer, whereas with a backing track you've got to follow the track, and if you get out of time, that's just a total nightmare. Okay, so now at the end of this video, if you are interested in getting out there and gigging It probably is a good thing, having said that you can go out there and gig without playing, but it probably is a good thing to learn an instrument, especially since it gives you knowledge of harmonics, and singers do actually need to know about harmonics. They need to know about chords. I teach singing and I definitely don't like it when I have students who think that they are the star and everybody else is just providing a glorified backing track. I want my students to be singers and musicians, proper fully fledged musicians, part of everything that's happening around them. And I'm not saying you're not if you don't play an instrument, but it is a good idea to try learning one, just to give yourself that knowledge of chords and of music theory and of things that singers actually do need to know. It will help you to harmonise vocally and it will help you in your singing. So if you're interested in learning to play, I do have a course on Udemy that's called Piano for Singers. There's a link to that in the description of this video, which will get you playing quite quickly and playing, reasonably enough to be able to accompany yourself and provide an accompaniment. I also have a course on Udemy it's called Advanced Singing, Aim for a Record Deal. So if you're aiming to up your vocal skills and you're out there gigging a lot, that might be for you too. So thanks so much for stopping by this video. I hope some of this information was helpful. I've put a link to the blog on which this video is based in the description, and to the blog on my website, which has all kinds of information for singers on navigating the music industry. And I hope to see you again sometime.